So we're going to speak about Ramachandra, especially in Srimad Bhagavatam. Shukadeva Goswami, Shukadeva Vasudeva in the Bhagavatam, so much faith, spoke about Ramayana-katha. So Parikshit Maharaj Shukadeva Goswami told in the Bhagavatam about many kathas of many kings. For example, he told about Krishna and Ram, who had appeared, Krishna in the Chandra-vamsa, dynasty of the moon, Ramachandra in the dynasty of the sun, surya-vamsa. According to the Surya Bada or Chandra, so the suns are big and moons are small. And the Bhagavatam describes the katha of the kings in the dynasty of the moon as well as the sun. Bhagavan Ramachandra came in the dynasty of the Ramachandra came in the dynasty of the sun, surya-vamsa. The sun is very shining and full of light. So in the same way, Bhagavan Ramachandra manifests also, he manifests with so much light and power. He said something about Valmiki Rishi wrote the Ramayana. Main Ramayana, original Ramayana, was written by Valmiki Rishi. Based on the original Ramayana, Valmiki Ramayana, many other people wrote also Ramayanas in different languages. So our Acharya is explaining that the original Ramayana is the Valmiki Ramayana. Tulsidas wrote Ramayana in Hindi. And also there's also Ramayana in Bengal, Kirtibasi Ramayana, called Kirtibasi Ramayana. It's a Ramayana in Bengali language. And there are also in many languages, in South, in Tamil language, Telugu, Kannada. Anyway, there are Ramayanas manifested in different languages. Because Ramayanas were written in different languages to make people understand according to time, place, and circumstance. The Ramayana of Valmiki is pramanic, but means authentic. The other Ramayanas, we also respect them, but sometimes in some places, or even like in a small proportion, but there is something which is some faults. I mean, sometimes they're speaking some things which are not the same as in Valmiki Ramayana. For example, in the Bengali one, it's written that Ramachandra, he was worshipping Devi Durga. Yes, Hanuman also wrote one Ramayana. कहाँ मिलता है? So actually he wrote the Ramayana, Hanuman. When did he write this Ramayana? Before Ramachandra was even born. So at that time, some rishis who knew past, present, and future, Trikalaga Rishi, according to their bhav, they saw these Lilas and they wrote it down. Because the Lilas of Bhagavan are happening in any universe. So you cannot blame. So Hanuman wrote a Ramayana. There's no difference between the Ramayana of Valmiki and the Hanuman's. It's the same. There's only one place where there is a difference. Hanuman wrote he was describing the flowers of Lanka. So when he's describing these flowers, he's saying that all flowers are red in Lanka. Then Hanuman told, I was directly in Lanka. I was there myself, and I saw myself. All flowers were red. दूसरा माइक है पीछे. So Hanuman said all flowers were red in Lanka, in Ashok Bartika. But Valmiki, he wrote that there were many kinds of flowers blossomed. Hanuman told, you went to that garden yourself, Hanuman, but you were so angry when you went there. That's why you saw that everything was red over there. But Valmiki Rishi, when he wrote it down, he saw everything in Samadhi, he was sawing trends. So whatever he wrote is right, Valmiki. So let's discuss something about Valmiki Rishi. Some people say Valmiki is from a low caste. स्वयं के So the Valmiki Ramayana, Valmiki Rishi gave the name Pracheta Putra. Valmiki Rishi, he introduced himself as the son of Kosa Rishi? Prachita Rishi. So the story of Valmiki Rishi is that from the Valmiki word came the name Valmiki. Valmiki comes from the word Valmiki. Termite, right? That insect which lives in the it's paper. Cupim. You know, they're eating the bugs and some insects. So the name is termite, I think. Isn't it in English? Indeed, yes. So the life of Valmiki Rishi, before his name was Ratnakar. In different kalpas, he was the son of Chaban Rishi. His name was Ratnakar in the beginning. He was the son of Chabak Rishi. Chaban Rishi. And Valmiki Rishi is the son of Prachit. So he was the son of Pracheto. Valmiki और रत्नाकर एक ही person है ना? पहले रत्नाकर तो कैसे है? The Pandavas also explain that Ratnakar was not clear. क्या बताए? और अभी क्या बताए? So because in different ages, Valmiki is born in different ways. Like there's different stories about it. That's why there are many different information about the same author. Jai Shri Radhe. But so the Valmiki Ramayana, Valmiki himself introduced himself. He said he was the son of Prachita. But in other Puranas, Valmiki is explained as being the son of Chaban Rishi. The son of Chaban Rishi called Ratnakar. He was a thief. Not only thief, like a criminal, he used to steal people. He was a dacoit. Even though he was the son of a rishi, he used to steal. And he used to take care of his family. One day, Narada Rishi met him. Narada Rishi told him, "You were stealing. This is a sinful activity. Yes. Narada Rishi told, "You were performing so many sinful activities." And then Ratnakar said, means Valmiki before. What happened? Narada Rishi told him, "You're performing sinful activities, and for whom you're doing this?" Then he said, "Oh, I'm doing sinful activities for these persons." अच्छा है गुरु ये अच्छा है जरूर So actually Narada Rishi was asking, "You're performing sinful activities for whom? Who will share with you these fruits of sinful activities?" Ratnakara said, "Oh, the persons who I'm making these sinful activities for, they will share with me these sinful activities." So Narada Rishi said, "Okay, go and check if they really are going to share with you the fruits of your, like the results of your sinful activities." So Ratnakar came back to his house and asked his parents, "Are you going to share with me the sinful activities which I'm making to sustain you?" His parents told, "No. When you were a kid, also we nursed you. And now your duty is to take care of your old parents. But how will you do that, like stealing or like sinful activities or being a deck with this and that? This is up to you. So if you are doing sinful activities to sustain us, this is your sinful activity. We are not going to share with you this sin, these sinful deeds." So the parents of Ratnakar denied. And then he came to his wife and he asked her. And she said, "In the time of the wedding, you made a vow. You promised that you would take care of me and nurse me. So how will you do that also depends on you. It's not upon me. If you're going to steal, if you're going to do spice deeds or sinful deeds, I'm not taking part of your sinful activities." Brahmaji. Don't put the mobile over the book because the book is God Himself. So if you perform pious deeds, it will come to your wife. But if you perform sinful activities, not even bit goes to your wife. But if you do pious deeds, half of it goes to your wife. It's written, isn't it? That's what Shastra says. husband and wife should perform pious deeds together, so no one will take from another. So you see, when you do fire sacrifice, for example, both have to do together the offering. Have you seen? According to the rules of the Smarta Brahmanas. Like husband and wife offering together. Like whatever you're doing, I'm doing with you. Like they even offer together. Like even the same hand touching each other like this, the same hand offering. Like, oh, whatever you're doing, I'm also doing. Like this. So the duty of the wife is to always like give shoulder to the husband, means support him every time. Support the husband, right? Support. To give support. When the wife cannot give the support to the husband, when the husband dies, gives up his body, at that moment the wife cannot give support, means cannot give her shoulder to the husband, means support him. Como se chama? Muito. So in the Shastra says, the rest of the time the wife supports the husband. It's written in the scriptures. It's actually in the wedding mantras. Wife is saying, I always support you. Support.
Not by hand.
Yes. Huh? Sorry? Jada Lord. Head? No, but in fire sacrifice, how do you offer?
Just you do and
Nagapatni's wives of Kaliya, they perform many prayers to Bhagavan. Bhagavan became pleased with their prayers. Okay, what I was talking about. In his previous life, his name was Ratnakar. And he used to steal. So, okay, he asked his parents, I'm stealing, and for me, sinful activities to keep you. Will you also share with me the fruits of the sins? They said no. He asked his wife. She said no. Even a bit of your sinful activities I'll not take. Airport and they're going now. Cadê a Bruna? A gente pediu pra dar.
no, sorry.
You have prashadam?
Yes. You get yes.
Okay, so what I was talking about? So his wife denied, then he asked even his small children. He asked them. They also said, we have nothing to do with your sinful activities. We have nothing to do. This is your life. If you're doing pious deeds or sinful deeds, you gave birth to us. Your duty is to just raise us and nourish us. If you're doing sinful activities or pious deeds, we have nothing to do with it. Then Ratnakar, he realized, I'm doing these sinful deeds for them, and they will not share with me any of this. So Ratnakar came back to Narad, and he asked for help. Narada said, okay, to be free from the sinful activities, you must chant the name of Ram. But he was such a sinful person in his mouth. The name of Ram were not coming. The names were not coming. Even Shastra explains that Narada Rishi told him, go to take a bath in the river. But when Ratnakar went, the water of the river dried and disappeared because it was so sinful. The river didn't want to give him water. Even the water of the lake dried because he was a very sinful person. Okay, so chant the name of Ram, Narada said, but he couldn't chant. Shastra explains, sinner persons cannot speak the name of Ram or the holy names. You are very fortunate, you guys. At least you chant the names of Bhagwan. You are or not? But there are some people that God saw these names, they cannot even pronounce the holy names. I have seen it. I have seen it. They cannot speak Krishna. Say it. Speak the name of Krishna. Hare Krishna. They can. Even sometimes they think you are abusing them if you tell them to chant the holy names. She says, is really true? People think you might be abusing them. Yes, there is some kind of people like this. So the shloka is coming. Those who have worshipped Vasudeva for 100 lives, they are able to chant the holy names with their mouth. It's a verse in an Adi Purana, in which Swayam Bhagavan Shri Krishna told Arjuna, hey Arjuna, listen to me. Those that for 100 lives, they have served my deity of Vasudeva. Sorry, Vasudeva. Only they are able to chant my holy names. So this shows that for 100 lives you have already worshipped the deity of Vasudeva vigraha, Vasudeva Krishna. Otherwise, how would you be able to chant Ram Nam, the names of holy God? Those who are chanting holy names, they are all very fortunate. So we should do pranams to them. And also clap for them. This is true. It's not easy to chant the holy names of the Lord. Bhaktivinoda wrote, learn Bengali, you feel so much happiness. So many siddhantas in the words of Bhaktivinoda also. Then Narada Rishi told Ratnakar, do one thing. Do you see this dead tree? Like a dry tree. How to say the name of this tree? So the tree was dried, like dead. So tell this name. So Ratnakar said Mora. Mora means also dead. So then Ratnakar started chanting Rama, Mara, 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 like that, dead, 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 Mara, Mara, Mara. So Tulasidas wrote Ulta Nam. Valmiki was chanting the name opposite, like not Ram but Mora. And in this way Valmiki became worshipable in the whole world. He couldn't chant initially the name of Ram, so he was chanting Mora. So he was chanting Mora, 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 Mora. In this way he chanted the name of Ram. He was in Samadhi in one place only, chanting. And then his body became a pile of soil, like earth. And then these insects, I told the termites. Dimak you call?
दीमक ने वो बना दिया था दीमक ने घर बना दिया था
Lakari, they eat the wood, right? Eating the wood. Wood eating.
Wood,
Lakari, yeah. Yes, they eat wood. Okay, so but he was sitting, his body full of termites. The termites were living, cupinzeiro no corpo. He had the termite house, I don't know English name, on his body. But still he was chanting the names. Then Indra sent some rain, and then the termites and soil was gone. Hati, bones only. Then his body was only bones. Then, by the mercy of Brahmaji, Tulasidas with so much faith, he does pranam to Valmiki Rishi in his book. Brahmaji की कृपा से क्या हुआ? Achha. By the mercy of Brahmaji, later on Valmiki wrote the Ramayana. And Tulasidas glorifies Valmiki in his book. Those who say that oh, I forgot what I was talking about.
ब्रह्मा जी की कृपा से उन्होंने रामायण की रचना की
Okay, so his body was covered by termites, which in Sanskrit is Valmik. That's why his name became Valmiki. Some people say that Valmiki indicates something of low caste, but it's not proper. In Mathura I saw there's a sampradaya called Valmiki Sampradaya. They're like low caste. In Bengal also some low caste called Harijan Sampradaya. But this is like some influence of time took place. Because of the influence of time. Actually Valmiki Rishi, he was the son of a Rishi. He was not from low caste. Then he wrote this book. Yesterday I spoke. Valmiki Rishi कौन सा river? Saptila? Bharadaj, and then went to which river? They went to the river, Valmiki and his disciple Bharadaj. When he was bathing, at that moment he saw a crane, female and male crane. tipo de cegonha. É um tipo de, mas deve ter outro nome específico. They were involved in lust and meeting each other, like in love, two cranes in love. And then a hunter came and killed the male crane with an arrow. And this poor crane fell like on the ground and died. Fell on the floor and died. Seeing this, the female crane, she was so absorbed in bhav, like so upset and in distress because her beloved had died. Seeing the situation at the time, Valmiki Rishi became very angry. And then he took some water in his hands and he cursed the hunter, throwing that water at him. Hey hunter, Nishad means hunter. You will never find happiness, peace. You never find peace. You separated these two birds in love. You've given them so much distress. So then the Rishi came to his ashram, Valmiki. So to do his anik and his meditation mantras, when he sat down, his mind was very disturbed. And he started feeling so much repentation and regret. He repented so much. Follow me. I am a saint. If it's someone in this world is suffering some unhappiness or something, it's because of their own karma. I have nothing to do with it. All the jivas in this world, they are suffering distresses because of their own karma. So prarabdha karma and aprarabdha karma. Two kinds of karmas we have. So you still have some karma to suffer or to enjoy that you not yet, it didn't come to you. It's called aprarabdha karma. But some karmas already we are suffering now. This is called prarabdha karma. Do you understand what I'm saying? This karma that we are suffering now, in this life, which karma is it? Prarabdha, fructified karma, prarabdha karma. But there is a karma, fruit of karma from unlimited lives. And a little bit now is just here, fructified. And it's sprouting and it's coming to us now. In the Madhura Kandambini, these things are explained. Now we are suffering in this material world, or enjoying our suffering. But this is only a little bit of what we have yet to suffer. One example is giving. A farmer has his crops, for example, and he can harvest 100, suppose 100 tons of wheat. Okay, so maybe 1 ton or a half ton, I don't know. Another like man, another kind of kilo measurement, I don't know. Anyway, so he keeps a little bit of this wheat for the next sowing. I don't know how to say. Next time that he will sow the seeds. He keeps some of them to be able to sow in the future, and the rest he sells and everything. So 10 months, he'll not at once sow. So he kept some part of it to sow later, but he'll not also sow at once everything. he'll keep also a little bit. Because imagine if he sows everything at once. Imagine if it doesn't rain. He'll lose all the seeds. He'll waste all the seeds. That's why he keeps also a little bit with him. Have you ever do some farming? That's why you don't understand what I'm talking about. Isn't it? So he kept some wheat to sow later. But still he also kept a little bit not sow at once. Because if the seeds are destroyed because of too much rain or no rain, then he can sow again. So in the same way, we have this karma from unlimited lives with us. Now you are suffering these fruits of karma. And it's a little bit only now that we are suffering and it's like just sprouted and growing. Like just a little bit of our karma. But there's so much more still kept that you must suffer sooner or later. When Dhruva, he was sitting on the spaceship going to the Dhruva Lok, or sitting on a transcendental chariot. Anyway, he was sitting on this spaceship going there. And then he was going and sitting on this transcendental chariot. He saw in one place a lot of bones. He saw a lot of bones, like a pile of bones. Then Dhruva asked them, "What is these bones?" Then somebody told, "Oh, this is the bones from each life you had. From each life you had." What is the meaning of these bones? This is karma, fruits of karma from unlimited lives. Many lives is there kept and you have to suffer them also. But if you're chanting the holy names, Tamabasa, semblance of holy names, all the karma is destroyed, everything. So the prarabdha and the aprarabdha karma. So the karma we're performing in this life, it will not come back to you in this life. Whatever you're doing in this life, will not come back now. It will only be kept like aside, and later on you have to suffer it or enjoy it, isn't it? Try to understand this. Listen with faith and then you'll be able to understand. Otherwise, what to do? What I was talking about?
जो इस जन्म के कर्म है वो आगे संचित होते रहते हैं.
Kroncha Pakshi, you never get happy. Manishada. So Valmiki Rishi was thinking, each jiva is suffering their own karma. I am a saint. Why did I enter in the middle, interfered? To curse and to bless is not my duty. To bless someone or to curse someone, it's not necessary. I don't need to do that. The sadhus have nothing to do with anything, right? They are aloof. So hunter killed two. So the male crane. So why do I have to interfere with it? Why do I have to come in the middle? They are nothing mine. Like Naradaji cursed Nalakuvera Manigriva. But they had dishonored Narada. So some directly thing happened. So that's why Narada cursed them. This is another point. But Valmiki is thinking, these birds, I had nothing to do with the situation. I had nothing to do with it. Still I got involved. I involved myself in it, so that's why his mind was very disturbed. Valmiki's mind. Each jiva is suffering their own karma. What to do? What can we do about it? What can you do about it? You tell me. You can give some instruction. If the person wants, you can give some instruction. Don't do these, chant holy names, something like that. But more than this, like above from that, what can you do? Like, what else can you do beyond that? Chant the names, right? Curse someone and bless someone is not right. To curse and to bless. Do you understand? You can only bless or curse someone if you can really do benefit for this person, something for his benefit. If you don't have this qualification, उसको वर देना तो so you don't have the qualification to bless, not to curse. So, but Narada Rishi, he cursed Nalakuvera Manigriva. They have to be born as trees. And at the same time, he also gave a blessing, a benediction. That in the Parajuga, Bhagavan Shri Krishna would deliver them. So only someone who can bless really can curse. So you can only curse someone if you can really also do good for that person. If you cannot do good for that person, what is the benefit in cursing him? Valmiki Rishi was thinking this. His mind is very disturbed. So you are angry sometimes. Are you angry? When you become angry, your mind becomes disturbed. Cannot meditate. So Valmiki Rishi was thinking about this, then Brahmaji appeared and said that matrix of the verse that came from your mouth when you that time he cursed the hunter, the same matrix you should verify it and write the pastimes of Lord Ramachandra. Then he meditated and saw the pastimes and wrote the book Ramayana. Just like by the mercy of Naradaji, Vasudeva was able to see all the pastimes of Krishna. After seeing his pastimes, Vasudeva wrote the book Srimad Bhagavatam. This verse clearly explains Bhakti Jogena Manasya Samyak. With the mercy of Narada, Vasudeva saw all the pastimes, divine pastimes, transcendental pastimes of Lord Shri Krishna. And he realized really, Vasudeva. He saw, had the darshan, and he had realization. He saw how the jivas are under the illusion in this material world and suffering so much. He saw all this. How Maya is also chastising the jivas, punishing the jivas, and how Maya is far away, standing far away from Lord. So Vasudeva saw all the pastimes of Lord, and at the same time he saw how the jivas were deluded by Maya and wandered in this material world. He also saw. Then Vasudeva wrote the Srimad Bhagavatam. In the same way, Valmiki Rishi directly was able to see all the pastimes of Lord Ramachandra. Then after seeing it, he was able to write very sweet Ramayana and manifested in the world. Ramayana is such a beautiful book. Ramayana explains all kinds of knowledges. So here is also written that Naradaji narrated briefly the pastimes of Ram to Valmiki. Narada told in brief the pastimes of Ram to Valmiki. So Ramachandra belongs to the Ikshvaku-vamsa. Ramachandra belongs to Ikshvaku dynasty, and many great kings had come in his dynasty before him, especially Aj, the son of Aj, Dasharatha Maharaj, and the son of Dasharatha Maharaj, Ram. So also the dynasty of Raghu is also described. So in the dynasty of the Raghus, they prefer to die than to break a promise. This is the tradition of the family. Then the Dasharatha Maharaj performed the Putashti Yajna. Dasharatha Maharaj put a sacrifice for having son, baby, children.
कौन सा यज्ञ किया?
Putrishti Jagya. Shanta. Dasharatha Maharaj had a daughter named Shanta. But Dasharatha Maharaj, Rampada Raja. Rampada Raja. Dasharatha Maharaj gave Shanta to the king Rampada. But it's not written from which womb was she born from. Like Shanta, who was her mother. But he had this daughter, Dasharatha Maharaj. And then Rampad, King Rampad, married her to Brishasringi. And then, so she married this Brishasringi, and then Rishasringi. Actually, this Rishasringi was who made the Putrishti Jagya. Rishasringa. He performed the Putrishti Jagya for Dasharatha Maharaj. Rishasringa. So there's a beautiful story about his wedding. So the Rishi was living alone. It was very hard to bring him. Shanta married Rishasinghi of Angadesh. So this is described in details how Shanta married him. You know the story? What do you know about it? The Rishi was living in one. Actually, he didn't even know the difference between a man and a woman. Pushkar? They brought him forcefully. He ordered to perform the fire sacrifice, and he was brought to perform the fire sacrifice. Risha Singhi. Actually, at that time the earth was so heavy with the sins of the sinful people. Like the burden of the earth was so much. So especially this comes in the context of the death of Ravan. Like Ravan was performing many sinful activities, so even the demigods were in so much distress because of him. So here is also describing about this. The demigods approached Srihari to appear as a human being and killed Ravan. So of the protest Jaga came a sweet rice, and Dashrath Maharaj had to give to his wives. So three stories are very famous. The story of Bedabati, number one. Second, the curse of Naradaji. And third, Jai Vijay. Jai Vijay Katha? Jai Vijay? No. Jai Vijay. The story of Jai Vijay. Like God promised them to deliver them, right? After 3 births they would be delivered. Jai Vijay. They were cursed for 3 births to come as demons. Bedabati. क्या बताया मैं? रामचरितमानस क्या बता रहा? But they're saying 3 main reasons for Ramayana, for the Ram coming to this world. Vedavati-katha, curse of Narada, and Jai Vijay. So, second now, what is explaining. Curse of Narada. Remember, Narada thought he had conquered the lust, came to Bhagavan and asked for his face. And then, first of all, Narada was thinking I conquered the lust and everything. And then Narada came, and after he saw that there was like a lady, a woman, choosing her groom. And then she offered the garland to Srihari. You never heard the story? I heard before, not now. You heard before this story. Narada was proud, thinking I conquered the lust. Once Narada Rishi was sitting in meditation. Seeing him, Indra and demigods became afraid. afraid that Narada would be able to conquer his kingdom. Indra was thinking. That's why Indra sent the Cupid to disturb Narada. Cupid came, did pranam to Narada. Narada opened his eyes. Cupid told, I'm defeated, you've won. Narada Rishi became very proud. Oh, I've conquered the lust. Then he went to Brahmaji and told, I conquered the lust. And Brahmaji said, don't say this. Even I am your own father and I couldn't conquer the lust. How do you think you can do it? How come? Just because the father couldn't conquer, you think the son cannot conquer. So he was very proud. He went to Shiva. He told Shiva, I conquered the lust. Shiva said, how come you conquered the lust? When I saw Mohini Murti, even me, Shiva said, even me, even I became also bewildered. So Narada went to Shiva Lok and after to Vaikuntha and also told Vishnu what had happened. Prabhu, I've conquered the lust. Bhagavan said, okay, very nice, huh? Nice. Well done. Then, coming back from Vaikuntha, on the way, Bhagavan created one Maya, like some situation. There was a groom choosing ceremony. And a beautiful, altar for a wedding, vigraha mandap. And there was a beautiful girl, a younger lady, choosing a husband. And when he saw her, Narada became completely enchanted by her. And he came back running towards Bhagavan, came back. What do you want? Prabhu, I want Harimukh. Harimukh means two meanings. The face of Shri Hari, like very beautiful face. Harimukh. Bhagavan's face is Harimukh, very beautiful. But the meaning is the face of a monkey. So Bhagavan gave him the face of a monkey. And he came and he told this lady, put the garland on my neck, put the garland on my neck. But who want to offer a garland around the neck of a monkey? So she didn't choose him as a groom. Does anyone want to marry a monkey? No. So in the end, Bhagavan Sri Hari appeared. Okay, so then what happened? She offered the garland on the neck of Sri Hari and they disappeared. Then the Rishi became very angry with Sri Hari and cursed him. Just like now, I am suffering because of this woman. You in the same way, and also you separated from your wife and you suffer like in separation. This is true. The main reason of the Ramayana is this reason. Bhagavan Sri Hari accepted the curse of Narada because he had to also do this pastime. So Vishnu came in the form of Rama. Bhagavan Vishnu has Shankha, Chakra, Gada, Padma in his hands. Who came in the form of the Shankha? Means the Shankha of God. You know the four brothers, Bharata, Shatrugna, and Lakshman, they are this Shankha. Okay, so Shankha, the conch was Bharat. Him as Bharat. It's written somewhere, I wrote it. I wrote it down. Ramachandra is Vishnu avatar, Narayana. Shri Ramachandra is Narayana Vishnu. Shesh Bhagavan is Lakshman. The Shankha, the conch, is Bharat. And the chakra is Shatrugna. In Dwarka there is also Chaturbhyuha. Vasudeva Sankarsana Pradyumna and Aniruddha. Vasudeva is also Swayam Bhagavan. Ram is Ram. Sankarsana Lakshman. Pradyumna Bharat. And Aniruddha came as Shatrugna. Okay? So Bharat is the Shankha avatar, means the incarnation of the conch of Lord. This conch came as Bharat. And the chakra in the hand of Lord is Shatrugna. Came as Shatrugna. Shesh Bhagavan came as Lakshman. So the pastimes of Rama are very interesting, very beautiful. नहीं बताया प्रद्युम्न. Okay, later describe more. If you remember only this and what I spoke today is already enough. Very nice. It's good.